I'm, let's say, a manager of a division,
Yes.
or I'm even, let's say, an HR manager, okay, and I would like to understand, let's say, what I have to do, let's say, in order to help my managers to change, to train, to be sure that the leadership is going to be good, to be, let's say, clear with, to support the digital transformation of my company. What do I have to do with the offering in terms of learning?
Richard, that's a fabulous question, actually. And I like the idea that you present yourself as an HR manager, because for a start, the HR manager is not so much in France, but certainly in other parts of the world, a disappearing animal. And a lot of young people of high talent, if you ask them if they want to be an HR manager, they look at you like, do you want to catch the plague? You know? It's not a great role. If you ask CEOs about their HR, they see it as one of the least agile departments. They see it down there with compliance, risk, and regulation. That's where they see it. So it's a disappearing thing. Now, if you are
Though you need to lever the engagement and motivation and knowledge of people.
Yes, and right now, if you ask a CEO where they put that, it's in sales and marketing, right? So the HR department, the function, needs to get its act together. Now, if I was an HR manager today, and that was your question, you know, what would you do? The first thing you have to do is raise the strategy of your dialogue. And in your department, you've got several responsibilities. One, not least, being adherence to the law on employment and social plans and comité d'entreprise and all this nonsense. That, if you like, is an administrative role. But if you're going to be a proper human resource director and really manage human resource as human capital, you need to be in the boardroom having a strategic conversation. And the strategic conversation you need to be having is, what do the clients of this company need 10 years from now? And in consequence, what are the competencies, skills, and knowledge that we need as a company 10 years from now? And what can I, the human resource manager, do to make sure that this company will be equipped in the future, not now, in the future, because it takes time to build up competence. It takes time to shift the culture.
Since we need to have a new type of skills and skills that you cannot be trained, okay, in terms of be creative, have the nice behavior and all these kind of things, be a good leader. How learning is going to be managed in that sense?
This is a very good point that you're making. The first problem that we have is that when we built the learning management systems in most countries here in Europe, the subject matter that we thought was the most important was knowledge. Okay, now this is like building your house on sand, because we know that knowledge profiles have shelf lives of maybe 6 months, and if you happen to be talking about informatics or IT, maybe 3 months. You know, so it's something that we valued. We thought it was very valuable. Knowledge. We said knowledge is power. That's what we used to say. Knowledge is power. And so we built our houses on sand. And as you said perfectly well, the things that actually make your company great is not your knowledge of how Cisco internals work. It's actually if you look after your customers nicely, for instance, and if you've got a workforce with lovely behaviors. Yeah. And now, so in competence, you've got knowledge, skills, and behaviors. And the one thing that you can't train for really is behaviors. As you say, you can't make that happen. They're there. Well, they're not there. They're born in. So you have to be able to build into your company a set of behaviors that are natural to the company, but you can't train it. So how do you do it? Well, two things. One, you have to have role models who represent that behavior. And two, a thing that we used to do back in the day, which was expensive, but you can do much more easily now with technology, is what we call assessment centers, where you put people in the situation that would typify the work situation that's critical or difficult. It could be a sales situation, it could be a consulting situation, it could be an anger diffusion situation, but you put your candidate in the situation.
And you could also sometimes maybe to digitize the mentoring approach.
You can absolutely, because also we now have the notion of avatars, we have simulation, we have holograms, we have 3D.
We have apps.
We have apps. We have even now in America apps that are able to read facial expression and non-verbal communication and analyze it. So we could put people in situations where they have to bring out a certain range of effective behaviors, and we can assess the effectiveness of those behaviors and make selections. Because when we're talking about this, learning is no longer the question. It's really about, if you want someone to climb a tree, it's better to hire a squirrel than train a turkey. Yeah. And for a long time we've been training turkeys, and we're going to have to now learn how to hire squirrels who will always have the right tree climbing behavior that we need over the years. we can teach the squirrels different types of knowledge, as you know, which comes and goes like the sea, you know, the tides of knowledge. But you want to build your house on rock, not sand.